I'm Neil Bain. I'm the shop supervisor for Bio and Ag Engineering Research Shop. We are the largest machine shop on campus. We've been here since 1957. We were contacted by Dr. David Suchoff at Crop and Soil Science about a hemp decorticator that he had actually seen on the internet. He sent me a video and asked me did I think we could build it.
I'm David Suchoff. I am an assistant professor in the Department of Crop and Soil Sciences. I'm an alternative crops extension specialist, and so my program does applied field research with new and emerging crops, and one of the crops that we do a lot of work on is fiber hemp. I sent them videos of different decorticators, so some from China, some from Europe. The basic premise of a decorticator in terms of what it does and how it works is relatively simple. It's just a number of rolling bars, and the bars actually crush the stem, and the crushing process actually is what helps separate the bast from the hurd.
There are a lot of decorticators that are large in scale. They're, I guess, what you'd call commercial decorticators, but they were actually looking for a small scale just for research purposes. I kind of came up with a concept and told Joe, my welder, what I wanted, so he fabricated up the rollers, and we initially started with basically where the rubber meets the road, so to speak, you know, the rollers that actually crush the hemp. Once we got that figured out, we assembled everything, and then once we were satisfied with it, we began to build the rest of the machine around the rollers. The fabrication of the actual equipment, everybody became involved, so it was a matter of having Robbie involved as far as the machining portion. He actually worked with the timing of the chains and the motor. There was some motor work that was involved as far as adapting the motor to what we wanted. It was a shop effort. It wound up taking probably 6 or 7 months. We were building it basically off the cuff, and so there was a lot of trial and error at times, and so we just would kind of piece it together. If this didn't work, we'd have to back up and try again. The reason we made it portable is because Dr. Suchoff wanted to be able to go out in the field with it, and rather than having to deal with electricity out in the field with a generator or drop cord, we decided to go with a gas-powered engine. You can put it anywhere. It actually has tires and feet on it, so that you can just grab it by the handles and roll it out basically anywhere in a field and do your decortication.
Portability is huge for us. We have research all across the state on the different research stations, and so the ability to be able to harvest the fiber hemp, say in Salisbury, North Carolina, let it break down there and let it dry, and then we can take our decorticator there to process it, means that we don't have to be hauling trailer loads of fiber hemp all the way back to campus. The work that we're currently doing, in fact, the fiber hemp back here is part of Alyssa Hawker's master's thesis, and so the trial that she initiated this first year was both a fiber hemp variety and planting day trial.
My name is Alyssa Hawker, and I'm a master's student in the Crop and Soil Science department studying some fiber hemp research. With the fiber hemp, our goal for the study is to produce a dense plot of plants, and we want the plants to be about pencil diameter, and with that we'll have the most amount of fiber off the plant.
One of the challenges that we've had with fiber hemp in the past is that the genetics were not really appropriate for our region. They didn't produce enough biomass, was the biggest issue. And this past year we obtained some genetics from China and Australia that are better suited for our climate, and so we were getting much better yields. But the next question that we have to ask is, well, when do we plant it? You know, farmers want to know which variety do I plant and when do I plant it? And that's exactly what Alyssa is doing. And so not only was Alyssa collecting data throughout the season and then looking at final yields, but now with this decorticator she's able to separate the bast from the hurd, and we can kind of tease apart, you know, which varieties potentially produce more bast fiber, or is there a specific planting date that allows us to produce more bast fiber compared to hurd.
The decorticator is closer to the last steps of the process, and the whole point of the decorticator is to strip the bast fiber from the hurd, and you can do that manually, but the decorticator helps us get it it gets it off a lot better, and it's easier for us to process the fiber.
It's not only something that I think we're going to utilize for research, but I think we'll probably take it out to our extension events too, as a teaching tool. We can show farmers that are potentially interested in getting into fiber hemp production, what does it actually mean to decorticate? Because it's still somewhat of a new concept to anyone that's never grown fiber hemp or any fiber crop that requires decortication.
We're familiar with most all the work that goes on the university campus. We know what crop and soil science does. We know what food science does. We know what the facilities guys are doing, housing. So we've worked with all of them, and so we're familiar with most of their processes. We're always willing to help. We love working with other departments and other parts of the university.
It is a phenomenal resource for us, but what I really appreciate is, you know, they all got really excited about the project, and there was a lot of back and forth, and they wanted to make sure that they were building something that would be useful for us and for research.
Without it, I would not be able to complete my master's research. So I'm so thankful that they were able to come up with such an amazing machine.